operator's license. Every single state, you have to be licensed. For instance, I'm not a school bus driver. I have to have a chauffeur's license and I think it's a class one CDL to drive a school bus. To drive a semi truck, I need a special CDL, commercial's driver's license, class two or three. Every vehicle you operate, you have to have some type of license in order for you to safely and legally operate it. I don't know how to drive a dump truck. I could probably drive it. But what if I go too fast? What if I go too slow? What if I take a turn too wide? So when you get your operators, same thing with the motorcycle. I've been on a couple times. I crashed once on the motorcycle. That's a long story. But I didn't have my operator's license. I didn't have a helmet on. I was okay. I flipped backwards because I just hit the throttle and the thing went up in the air. Had I had my operator's license, I would have had a helmet on. I would not have pulled the throttle back and I would have been okay. So when you get your operator's license, you kind of have an idea what to do. Is it graded? Yes. Any examination we do, any discussion we do, it is graded. I look at it. The driving school looks at it. I look at data every single month, every single 3 months, every single year. How many girls get it right? How many boys get it right? How many 60-year-olds get it right? How many 16-year-olds get it wrong? So I try to have different questions all the time so you grow. I don't do the same thing I did last month or the month before that or the month before that. You always have to change. How many different licenses are there? How many different vehicles do we have? A dump truck, a limousine, a school bus, a regular passenger car. Do you guys understand? Every type of vehicle has a different type of requirement. Okay? You need a aircraft license. You need a boater's license. Okay? So what is an endorsement? A license endorsement. Example, I have a chauffeur's license endorsement. I can drive a vehicle up to 11,000 pounds. Okay? After that, I'm going to need a different type of endorsement. So you need to kind of think ahead. When am I going to be driving the next couple of years? Am I going to be driving a device, a car? Well, let's pretend your parents own a limousine company. As soon as you turn 18, like, I'm going to be driving a limousine. I can make $500 a weekend, but you got to get trained how to drive a limousine. It's a very long vehicle. Got to know how to park it, back or backwards. Okay? So, good question. Why are there so many licenses? Because we have different vehicles in our state. Dump truck, school bus, semi truck, commercial bus. Okay. How many questions included on the state test? It varies from state to state. In our location, there are 80 questions. You need to get a minimum of 56%. This means you would have missed 27 or more questions. If you miss 27 or more questions, you don't deserve to drive. I'll say it again. Aiden, you okay? Can you have a seat? I really appreciate you. Like I said, if you guys want to be here, I'll keep you here. If you don't want to be here, I can remove you. So I'm just letting all of you know this. Driver's education is a privilege, not a right. So I'll say it again. Driver's education is a privilege, not a right. So if you guys are out of pocket, you don't want to work, causing problems, you'll be removed. That's how serious I take this. So let me know if you guys want to play. I've removed students before. So most of my classes study really well. I do good test prep. You'll probably miss less than 10. But if you don't study, you can't read really well, You have test anxiety, you might miss 20. Whoa. You might miss 25. Whoa, you barely passed. So we do a lot of test prep, test review to make sure you're ready. You have to work harder than me, and you will. This is why after every single interactive game we do, I'm going to schedule 2 more drivers. And those kids who are here for a makeup, if they want to do a good job, fine. If they want to get out of pocket, it's recorded, and I'll remove them. Next, why can't the Secretary of State give someone who's out of state a temporary permit? Because they're out of state. They're not a resident of our state. Let's pretend I live in Texas, but I came from California. Hey, Texas, I want a temporary license. You got to be a resident of the state in order to get a special type of license. Okay? This way, we don't have people from Canada or Atlanta, Georgia. Every state has rules and expectations and guidelines you have to follow. What is the conviction on a driving record? Running from the police, drunk driving conviction, fleeing and looting the police, participation in the drag race. Anytime you have a conviction like that, it goes on your record and it stays on there for a while. And because you guys are under 20, it could have an impact on what type of job you have. There are employers who will look at your driving record. They'll look at your credit rating. They might say, nope, we don't want you. Everything we're going over, this is what you need to know for the test. I'm very thorough. Very thorough. How do you get a double endorsement? You take 2 tests. Like if I wanted to drive a limousine, I already have a regular operator's license. I already have a chauffeur's license. In order to drive a limousine, I need a CDL class 1. I would have to take the test. I would have to study for it, pay the money, and if I pass it, I have another endorsement. But people who do that, they want to drive a limousine or a semi-truck to make money. Why would I take a test just to have it if I don't want to make money? It's about making money. I think most of you understand that. What type of training do you do to get your chauffeur's license? The test covers larger vehicles, the weight, driving in rain, air brakes, manual shifting. Can only Secretary of State issue original? Yes. Yes. Only the Secretary of State can. They are an official government entity. Okay? They're official government entity. So it is serious when you go there. And in some places in the United States, your driver's license can be a form of legal identification. Good question. What are the benefits of an enhanced driver's license? I can go to Canada without showing any paperwork. I can leave the United States without showing any paperwork. It's a matter of convenience because I would have to haul my birth certificate, social security card, my immunization card. So by getting the enhanced license, I don't have to do all those things. It's a good question. How do you obtain a double recreational endorsement? You would have to go take a test at Secretary of State. They might ask you questions about a fifth wheel trailer. Those are those really big trailers some of your families have. They have a device that goes in the back of a truck, and then the trailer bolts to the bed of the truck. Those are pretty big. That's a good question. We already answered the recreational one. How many minutes will you have for the test? You have 2 hours. State law requires 2 hours. You got 2 hours. If you don't get it done in 2 hours, then another time will be scheduled. Probably you at the main office with your parent or guardian, or probably you don't want to wait for me in the next session in 6 weeks. So you have 2 hours. Can I go to Mexico or can I go to Mexico or can you can go to Canada? I'm confused. Are you talking about with enhanced license? I can go through Canada with the enhanced license. Mexico, I would have to check on that. How old do you have to be to have an enhanced license? I think it's 14 or 15. You would have to check that. Some good questions. I thought the questions were really good.